Hello, lovelies. I welcome you all to another exciting class. Today, we'll be looking at a few topics, but let's begin with father and father. The word father refers to length or distance. For example, Bart ran farther or more miles into the woods than Susie. The word further refers to time or amount. For example, we'll need to read further to find the answer. For more information on father and further, kindly watch this video. Have fun!
Farther versus further. Oftentimes, people use farther and further interchangeably to talk about greater distances. However, there is a slight difference between the two. Let's break it down. Farther is used to talk about physical distances, as in, Tokyo is farther away than Beijing. Further, on the other hand, refers to more figurative and non-physical distances, such as in, I am falling further away from my goals. Goals are not a physical place. It's also worth mentioning that this difference is predominantly used in the UK, Australia, Canada, and elsewhere in the Commonwealth. Also note that further is used as an adjective or adverb as a synonym for additional or additionally. Do you have any further questions? Do you have any additional questions? Next time you're not sure which one to use, ask yourself, is it a physical or non-physical distance that you're talking about? That's it for today.
Welcome back. Let's look at good and well. Good is an adjective that describes or modifies nouns and pronouns. For example, this is a really good dinner. Well is an adverb that describes or modifies verbs. For example, he plays the piano well. For more information on good and well, ensure you watch this video. Have fun!
How many times has a simple question left you confused? How are you doing today? I'm doing good. I'm doing well. I'm hanging in there. Why is this such a tricky situation for both children and adults? Understanding when to use good and when to use well correctly will have a positive effect on your speaking and writing. One point to remember is that good is an adjective. Adjectives can describe or modify nouns. Well is an adverb. Adverbs can describe or modify action verbs. This is why it would be correct to say, she is good. Good is an adjective describing the lady. The lady is a noun. Or, it is correct to say, she paints well, because well is describing the action verb paints. Well is telling how she paints. Another helpful tip is to look at the verb. If the verb is a linking verb like am, is, are, was, were, or seem, for example, you need to use the adjective good. Remember, linking verbs simply connect your subject to more information. If the verb is an action verb like paints, you want to tell how the action is or was performed. The action was performed well. It is also important to note that verbs involving the 5 senses, looks, sounds, smells, feels, or tastes, act as linking verbs requiring the adjective good. This makes sense because you would say, the cookie looks good, the music sounds good, the flower smells good, the pillow feels good, or the pizza tastes good. In all these cases, the adjective good is describing the subject. So remember, when you're speaking or writing and you are deciding whether to use good or whether to use well, first, decide if you are describing your subject, the noun, or the action being performed, the verb. Then, Look at the verb to decide if it is linking, connecting information, or action, doing. Let's practice using good or using well in some simple sentences. If we're describing the subject and using a linking verb or a verb involving the 5 senses, we'll choose good. If we're describing the action being performed and using an action verb, we'll choose well. The concert sounded blank. Did the concert sound good or well? Let's look at our clues. Our subject is the concert and sounded is our verb. Since we are describing our subject, the concert, and using a verb involving the 5 senses, sounded, we should choose good. The concert sounded good. Another clue is that I can substitute the verb sounded for other linking verbs that make sense. I could say the concert was good, or the concert seemed good. Replacing my verb with other linking verbs helps me know that good is the right choice for this sentence. Hooray! Let's practice choosing good or choosing well one more time. Judy studied blank for her test. Should I choose good or well for this sentence? Well, let's look at our clues. Judy is my subject because she is who or what my sentence is about. And studied is my verb. So is my sentence describing Judy or describing her actions? Since Judy studied for her test, I'm describing Judy's action. She studied, and studied is an action verb. So I should choose well. Judy studied well for her test. Well is an adverb that tells how Judy studied. I can also replace the action verb studied with other action verbs that make sense. Judy prepared well for her test, or Judy practiced well for her test. Replacing my verb studied with other action verbs helps me know that well is the right choice for this sentence. Hooray! So remember, if you are describing your subject or noun and using a linking verb or verb involving the 5 senses, use good. And if you're describing the way an action was performed and using an action verb, choose well. He sure is good. He plays very well.
Welcome back. We move on to then and then. Then rhymes with pen, refers to time. For example, feed the cats first, then give them some water. Dan rhymes with pan, is used only to compare things. For example, time is taller than Joe. For more information on then and then, please watch this video. Enjoy!
Common for English language learners and even native English speakers to get confused on when to write then and when to write than. However, it's actually quite simple. We use then when we are talking about something related to time. We use than as a conjunction to make comparisons between different things. Let's see some examples of how we use then. She watched a movie and then went to bed. In this sentence, then is like saying after that. I couldn't call you at 10 o'clock because I was busy then. In this sentence, then is like saying at that time. Jack was a rude kid back then. In this sentence, we are using then to discuss the past and how Jack behaved at some time in the past. Now let's see some examples of how we use than when we make comparisons between different things. A cat is smaller than a lion. A lion is bigger than a cat. She is more intelligent than Charles. It's colder in Canada than in Spain.
Okay, we have come to the end of this lesson. I'm sure you had so much fun and of course you learned a lot. Thank you for watching. Ensure you attempt your quiz. Have a lovely day. Bye.